are excited to be with you today and excited about our topic today, I think. Yes?
What do you mean?
Well, I feel like this is a little bit of a tricky topic that we're going to wade into today as we are approaching the holiday season.
Yeah. Right.
And always, like, my favorite time of year is Christmas.
Yeah.
And yet there's always a lot of things. Like, I feel like in America, for sure, everyone and their mother plans any kind of event within 30 days of the year. You know, it's like everybody has to have a Friendsgiving, everybody has to have a Christmas party, everybody has to do the thing, and it's like, boom.
Yep. I know.
I feel like you were going to say something to that, and then you were just looking at me quizzically while I talked.
I didn't know where you were going. Like, because I feel you don't like Friendsgivings.
I am not a fan of Friendsgiving.
Yeah. That's draw a line in the sand.
Just draw. I'll tell you why, because by the time Thanksgiving comes, I'm like done with turkey. And yes.
I mean,
I'm done with gratitude. Just play like. No, like, typically Thanksgiving is a lot about a meal that you come together and you know, it's like this one event that, is a lot of cooking, preparation, gratitude, right? Mm-hmm. And now I feel like it's extended into this like 3-week period of time that is just intense.
Okay. Here's my take.
Oh no, I feel like it's gonna.
I don't mind the Friendsgiving thing.
Okay.
I don't mind it. Like we're gonna have one for the youth, right? Mm-hmm. So. I mean, they call it Friendsgiving, but like when I was growing up, I know if there was a special party, it was just like the Thanksgiving party, right? But you have to have a special name for everything.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, so we're going to have one for the youth. Like that's the last Wednesday,
before
that we're going to meet, that, all that. So I think that that's cool. I think that I think it does get crazy though, like you're saying, because now it's like, okay, these people are having Friendsgiving. These people are having Friendsgiving. We're going to one tonight.
Yeah, which I'm excited to see everybody.
And I am excited to see everyone. That's why I was like trying to figure out like what route you were going with this, because I'm excited to see everyone. I just think it's funny because it's probably, I don't know, like, but these are all part of groups. I guess that's the difference.
Yeah.
Excuse me. This coffee is like lukewarm. It's worthless to me.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's like a lukewarm question.
Exactly. So, but so like when you're ending a group, or not ending a group, but when you're coming to the seasons of this and you have these groups, like I think it's cool to have a get together. So to have like your Friendsgivings and all that, but it does feel like we, like everyone just has these all the time and during
this season.
November, right? During, this Thanksgiving season. And it just gets like, Now, I would say I don't get, our own Thanksgiving is pretty sacred. Yeah. I feel like every year it is, but maybe this year we're doing a little different. So I don't know if it's going to be as cool as it's been, but we don't have turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because I'm turkeyed out, man.
But even before that, like turkey's good, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, let's just have a great meal.
Right.
Right. We do have the sides. We're not like anti-American, right?
We love America.
Like all the sides that, normally come with Thanksgiving, but we usually have like a different protein, which is cool. I like that. Like last year, I made ribs.
No, I made meatloaf.
I thought Gage made ribs at one point last year too.
Yeah, he did, but it wasn't for Thanksgiving.
I thought it was.
It was in that same trip.
All right. So it was a mini Thanksgiving before the.
Yeah, we just ate a lot that week.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. And I mean, it does get, I think, to the point of a little bit that we lose the meaning in the seasons that we're in. Like we lose the true meaning of Thanksgiving. Like you said, you're tired of gratitude. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not tired of gratitude, but because you lose it, right? I think I figured out while you were talking what it is that I get bothered about Friendsgiving and all of this other stuff is I think I don't like obligatory things that are wrapped around seasons, if that makes sense, where it's like every group is obligated to do this thing. You're not doing something well if you don't for sure have this to wrap up this,
But I think we manage that well, because we've gotten to a point where we're like, we're not going to make that one. Or we're not Friendsgiving, just in general, like these things that come up, especially around the season. So this is what I was going to ask you, like, when you think of the holiday seasons, is the first thing that comes to your mind stress?
No, I don't think of stress, but I definitely, there's an aspect of, I would say, tension that there's and I think probably every person experiences this as an adult, right? It's like, I love this time of year, and there's also aspects of it that do feel very obligatory, that do bring stress. And so it's like this push of remembering like what we really value and then what we're tolerating. And that's not an easy one for me, for sure, especially because I tend to land in like the peacemaker role, and so I want to keep everybody happy. And I will forfeit either some of my own peace in that and or my family's, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because of the obligatory things that I feel are like, oh, we got to go do this. We got to go see that person. And so we're having this episode because we're wanting to hash that out. And
we're talking about, you didn't even say what we're talking about, did you? Yeah. We're talking about, boundaries, but really, like, I don't know if we want to call it, they are boundaries, but I feel like we talk about boundaries all the time. But this is in this holiday season, like the different boundaries with what happens during these next 2 months.
Right.
Like,
like guarding what you value. I do think that's what really, and I think, you and I had a discussion just this morning when we went out to breakfast about, assessing what certain things mean in our life and placing some parameters around it. Like, we were specifically talking about the Sabbath, but I think in anything, take the time to sit with your spouse and assess what you guys both really value about, both Thanksgiving, but also Christmas. Is like, what do we really value here? And is that coming through?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes, even when we were talking this morning, it was like, okay, well, tell me what you mean by that. Because in my mind, I have an idea of something and what's valuable for that. And you might have another. And if we don't have a discussion about it, we end up, both of us, disappointed in the outcome.
Yeah.
And so I think sit down with your spouse before it gets to the everybody has something for the next month, and have a conversation about what it is. Like, what do we really value as a family?
Yeah.
As a husband and wife.
All right.
Okay, folks, we're done.
There's a challenge.
Well, because I think this can it's either going to drain you or it's going to strengthen you.
I'm trying to think of people that I could ask that they would say it wouldn't drain them these 2 months. Okay.
Isn't that kind of scary?
That's literally, we were talking about, like you said, we were talking about the Sabbath over coffee. And I was saying that we need one. In this coming year, we're going to make that happen. Not one, but we need to set it up.
We are going to do one Sabbath.
We're going to do one Sabbath. That's it. No, to set it up to where we really have this day of rest. And
that's a rhythm.
Like, what does that mean for you? And I think you were thinking like, oh, I'm sure for you, it means just sit around and watch TV and do whatever, and I was like, no, what it means for me is that I need a rest. Like,
where there's no obligations.
Yes. And that's what we're getting at today. It's like during the holiday seasons, there's obligations that you need to, you know, perform, but you need to like be there. You need to do these. That's why they're called obligations. Like but also obligations, I feel are forcing you to do something, not necessarily because you want to, but because you have to, you know, and it's with this whole like events that you dread to go to, because it's become this thing where it's like, well, we always have done that.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that I wanted to talk about is I feel, especially with the pressure of social media, right? There's this element, an elf on the shelf, which just is another little side rant. Like these poor parents that are doing elf on the shelf. Because there's like a whole other pressure.
We don't, you know, we've been, I don't know if you want to call us Grinches, but we've never done those things.
Yeah. Like, but it's because I think it's that obligation. We're recognizing, okay, is a tradition, and this is like a really big thing for you to assess. Like, is this draining you? Like this pressure of this quote unquote tradition that has to be done.
Our listeners in the South just turned us off. They were like, nope, I'm done listening to that. Like they just, I mean, that's like, this is reality. Like the people in the South just shut us off right when you said that.
Wow, absolutely. Savage.
Well, no, that's it. Like there's a lot of traditions that you keep, and it's like these, we love traditions.
Yeah, we have some big ones.
We have big ones. I will say this though, in all of my wisdom, I've learned from me, and this probably will turn some people off too, but I've learned from me that like if my kids uphold some traditions that we have, right, that they've grown up with, great. I think it's awesome. But if they make their own, then cool. Awesome. Like it's because when they get married, they're marrying another person, you know, that had their traditions growing up, whatever they may be. And now you're your own family now, and you want all family around. Like I love having family around, like outside of our immediate family, right? So you want family around. You want to have that time, the laughs, and everything that these holidays bring, minus the stress, right? You don't want that.
Because it's like everyone has that idyllic picture of what
they
it
have
means.
Hallmark in their head. They have Hallmark.
The long table.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the big bountiful spread, and everyone's smiling, and everyone's so happy, and no one is secretly mad at the other person. It literally
just reminded me when you're saying that of, because we want the Hallmark moment, we want the perfection, and we have this expectation in our head, like this is how it's going to be, right? And I just thought of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which I haven't seen in years, and probably like if it's on VidAngel, we could watch it again.
It's crazy these things that you like don't realize.
Yeah, absolutely. But now I'm like, oof, I don't even know if I want to talk about this. But that, like, they have the long table, the family's over, you know, they make this beautiful turkey, and then they cut into it, and it's like a horrible disaster, and everything that night's a disaster, and it goes from what he was dreaming of having to like a horrible, right? You know. And it's a comedy, so it's hilarious. Reality. But isn't that the truth though? Like, right. We have these expectations in our head for these events that we're putting on, and something goes awry, something happens, and it's just not, it doesn't go to what we want. And then all of a sudden your stress level goes up.
Yeah, someone you lose brings the up, meaning.
Yeah. And you lose the meaning of what it is, where, you know, this is all wrapped around just like get down to the very bottom of what these next couple months are. One, it's celebrating the birth of Jesus, our Lord and Savior, right? Absolutely. That's the first thing. And, you know, and Thanksgiving is celebrating like this, America, like Thanksgiving. Like this is, you know, being thankful for everything we have and everything to
Let's
come.
Let's gorge ourselves and buy things for Black Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's the meaning behind it that you do want to assess, because if you lose it,
well, and then everything becomes, you know, obligatory with that then too, and so then that's what we're talking about. Like, how do you frame and set boundaries around these holidays with honoring your immediate family, and then, well, honoring God first, right? And honoring your immediate family, but also honoring your friends and family that are very close to you. You know, like, what do you do? How do you do this? Because really, when we were talking about the Sabbath, like, people do give me life, but there's a certain point where I'm like, I don't want people around. I don't want to go to do this. I don't want to go do that. I want to just be, right? I need to reflect. I want to be able to have, like, there's no timing that day, right? There's no time hacks that day that I have to meet, right? It's just, you know, this is what we're doing today. Shutting off this, opening more, you know, staying in the Word longer, you know, being intentional about all these other things, and not having these obligatory visits to these different places, you know. And that's so for me, I love the holidays. I love them, and I love going out and seeing all the people and doing all the things. But there are times during the holidays where I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere else. I was laughing with my youth group, was laughing at me the other day because they asked me, we were talking about devotions. They were asking me how early I wake up. And I told them, first of all, I don't think any of them at that table had been awake during that time at any point in their life, maybe when they're babies. So I was like telling them when I wake up, and then one of the guys is like, well, what time do you have to go to bed to wake up like that? And I was like, ugh. I'm like, usually I go to bed around 10, like usually. I don't try to stay up past that. And I was like, but man, by 8:30, I'm like, my brain is home.
It is, yes. Like and you can see it on Brad's face. If we are out of the house past 8:30 and Brad in any way, shape, or form, you will literally see it on his face.
Yep.
He's like, it's time for me to go home now.
Yeah. I try not to be like that, but I'm like, no, my grandfather that used to live here passed away. A funny thing he would do is he'd start turning off lights at his house when there's a bunch of people
time for everybody to go.
Because he's like, I'm just going to start shutting the lights off. Like, you don't have to go home, but you got to leave here, kind of deal. But I guess I think I need to clarify. So obligations aren't always bad.
Yeah, they're not always negative.
No. And so there are obligatory things that we're going to do this year, and it's going to be great. I love it. But I think it's when you have to look at them and go, okay, when is this starting to hurt me? At what cost is it taking for me to do this, versus whatever else it may, versus not doing it?
Well, it's like we discussed before, right? Every yes that we give is a no to something else. And so we have to be really careful when we're looking at calendar, when we're looking at tradition, when we're looking at the things that, we feel the necessity to do. It's like, man, I am saying no to something, right? If we push ourselves to such great capacity that we're no longer actually present in the meaningful things with our family, that we're no longer present in the meaningful things of, like you said, what we're celebrating for Thanksgiving and the birth of our Savior. It's like, if we're not doing those things, then what are we telling our kids? What are we telling others about the way that we live? It's like, okay, I say no to things because I'm protecting something, right? And I think this is something I need to get better at.
Yeah.
It's just something I need to get better at, because I do not want to hurt people's feelings. And yet it's like, this last year, one of the traditions that I had really started was I made quite a lot of baked goods that we passed around the neighborhood.
Oh, this is a good one. Yep.
And it was something I enjoyed doing, but it really became overwhelming.
But it wasn't this past year. You had been doing it for...
No. I'm getting to. So this past year, I decided that I was not going to do that this year. And even though it was like letting go of something that I had made this tradition, it's like the reality was my kids wanted certain dishes that they love having made around this time of year. And that's what really mattered.
Yeah.
And I wasn't enjoying it anymore.
Well, and guess what happened? Nothing.
No, nothing happened.
No neighbor came over like, hey, where's the plate of cookies that you've always dropped off at my doorstep?
Yeah. I mean, I would bake for an entire day.
Yeah.
Just so many various things and getting it packed up.
And it was fun. It was cool. But yeah, there's a time where I think what you're getting at too is, you know, it's this aspect of, I was loving doing that. It was a lot of fun, but now my seasons are changing.
Right.
And I could still do it, but now I'm not getting. But should I? But also, am I just doing it to do it?
Yeah.
Or is this something where I'm like, man, I really want to do this because I want to love on the neighbors,
right?
You know, and if it's not that, then drop it. You know, yeah. I think that's kind of a big key. We haven't even talked about boundaries necessarily, but I think the big key with that is if you're doing something and it's quote unquote a tradition. I don't even know. Like we should probably look up like when's it become a tradition? How many times do you have to do it?
Like you've done it once, then is it a tradition?
Yeah, exactly. Right. But you look at it and if it's like, I have to do this because this is what we do every single time. But now you're starting to do it and you're like, I don't want to do this. Like it's draining me. It's just, I just don't want to do this anymore. It's okay to be like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
You're not being selfish. You're not being anything. You're just saying like, I'm not doing that this year. I think this year has been for me this not epiphany, but this year of understanding that I'm mature enough now. I'm 47. I'm mature enough now that I know, you know, it's okay. I'm not going to do that. No, I don't want to. And ultimately I don't have to give a reason. I'm not being mean and I'm not being rude. I would never, if I'm ever rude, it's very unintentional. Like I don't want to be rude to people. I'm not being mean to people. I'm just letting them know, like, I don't have to over explain and I don't have to really, you know, it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the Bible, it does tell us let your yes be your yes and let your no be your no. Yeah. I'm an over explainer for sure.
You are. There's 100%
Thank you for confirming.
100. I mean, let's sidetrack a little bit. There's times where you're like telling me something and I've gotten it within like within the first like 2 minutes of you telling me. So after that, you just keep going and I'm like,
you like to have information relayed like a text message. Okay. But you only read the first sentence of a text message. So that's the problem.
That's not true. Don't speak of it.
Oh, is it not true?
I read text messages.
The entire text message. If there you go. No. Stop. ChatGPT paraphrases for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
There's a difference.
Thank you, chat.
So what you would prefer?
I need cliff notes of what you send me.
Yes. You want me to put it in ChatGPT and say, summarize this for my husband in as simple as possible so that I don't use excess words to explain anything, and then send that to you.
There's just times I already get it and you just kind of keep going and I'm
okay.
Like, I've already
First of all,
anyway.
Okay.
We're talking about boundaries
this is off topic.
Holiday seasons.
However, I'm going to give some marriage advice to those listening. Never tell your wife she uses too many words. And two, it doesn't matter if you get it. You need to listen to the entire conversation.
I am listening.
And not ask for a ChatGPT paraphrase. Brad has literally told me before, skip the commercials.
Because there's unnecessary things being said.
No.
I don't need to know that person's last name.
I'm trying to help you help yourself. No.
I don't care what school they went to. Just give me the...
Okay, but this is like a side note for sure. But it is... active listening does require like intentionality and practice, because we can get to the point, and this is me too, where I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. And we're just like, I'm done listening. And I feel like social media and, even the paraphrase stuff on our phone now makes us, our attention span to just like being in it with someone. And I feel like God places us in relationship in order to develop the skill set to communicate with one another, even when it is not exactly the way that we would want. So were you done hearing me the first time? The first little part of it, were you done hearing me?
Of what?
Of that little side note?
Oh, I'm trying to get back on track.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Just bringing it, trying
He's
to bring
like,
it home.
okay, ChatGPT, paraphrase that. Now let's move on.
No, I just want people to understand, like, it is okay to say no to things.
Yeah.
Because of just like reflect and, what is it? There are going to be things that are definitely, you don't really want to go to, but you still go to. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have to like do some self-reflection, is like, I don't really want to go to this, but it's not like, I don't feel horrible about going, like, it's
not going to be this
so
really
draining?
huge drain.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it so draining that if I go to this, like,
or is this counteracting like what this really means, like what this season means? Like, I think asking yourself questions around each thing too helps.
Personal questions around it, really, but just understanding, like, it's okay to say no. And I think that you don't get this right 100% of the time, and also you don't get this right when you first start thinking about it, because you're like, well, no, that's a lot of fun to go do. Everything we go do is a lot of fun. Like, really, around these seasons, like, we have a blast. So for me, it's not even, oh, am I going to have fun at this thing? It's, man, like, how's it going to be? Like, am I dragging myself there? I don't have any energy. All of those, there's a ton of other questions I ask myself other than, am I going to have fun at this, whatever. Right. Yeah. Like, that's my own personal thing. 'Cause I will find fun at every event.
Brad's like, I'm a good time.
I mean, it's basically one of my superpowers.
Okay.
I will find fun at every event. It might take me a little bit to warm up, but I'll find
it's
some
like
kind
the
of
pod.
fun.
It might take him a minute to warm up, but after that, watch out.
Maybe. Yep.
I mean, I find out new things about you all the time. Like, yes, you act like you don't want to be left alone at a party, but really you are the one over there just like,
be careful.
Just laughing it up. And I also found out that you would have a Christmas tree all year round if you could.
I said that this year. You're right.
I know.
I did. It's not all the ornaments on it.
Yeah. No, you like the lights.
I like the light. And I like where it is in our house. And when I get up in the morning, I'd like turn it on and it's dim. I just like it. I like it. Yeah.
I feel like he passively aggressively told me that I have too many ornaments on my tree.
No, you don't at all. I'm just saying it's not the ornaments. It's not like, oh, I need a tree that's decorated. No, I just think it looks cool. I like it. Well,
so the things that we find out about Bradman in the middle of...
I'm maturing.
You're maturing, so you want Christmas trees all year round.
I guess that's where it's coming from. I don't know.
Okay, so we talked about when we say yes to something, we are saying no, but then also recognizing when I do need to say no, because I'm really, you're wanting to protect what really matters, the meaning behind something, your drain, right? Your emotional capacity. So what does that look like to do that in a healthy way? I mean, because I think that's where I probably really wrestle the most is like, okay, great. I'm supposed to say no to this thing. And I've assessed that this is not going to actually be something that's beneficial for this particular time of year. It's too much. So
you're asking me.
I'm asking you.
So
since you say no so much better.
Because I'm like, no, just if you want the reason, just go ask Lisa. No, I don't.
You're like, I'm the nice one.
Yeah,
I
really want to go,
but my wife over there, oof.
The one that left me alone when we walked through this door. So I don't know what to tell you.
She's the calendar. I don't know what to tell you.
So basically you're asking me like, how do you say no?
Right.
Right. Just like that. No.
In like a healthy way.
I know. But if you have to give a reason, and be truthful with your reason. But understand that whomever you're talking to, that reason might not be good enough for them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna roll out a scenario for you.
Do it. I call them scenarios, but
I call it scenario.
Yep. Go right ahead.
Not necessary to tell me how you
Let's see how I fare.
I think the biggest struggle for families at this time of year, or if you're just a couple and you're starting out, right, is the familial. Is that how you say it?
Familia?
No, that's Spanish.
Well, that's what I thought you were saying.
The family extended family relationships. Okay. I think that is the biggest areas of tension that people have around obligatory things and even our expectations and all of that stuff. So let's say that you are every year you feel the necessity, or it has been tradition. Why are you
for how long? I'm putting myself there. Okay, go ahead.
For your whole lives, you go to one set of parents, you go to the other set of parents, right, at Christmas Eve or Christmas, and you're trying to have your own Christmas or whatever. And so this year you're sitting there going, and you realize like this has created a tremendous amount of stress for my immediate family on what is supposed to be a meaningful day where we actually get a chance to reflect on what really matters. And that's not just the presents. It's not the Santa stuff. It's not whatever. So how do you navigate those extended family relationships in a way that honors God and honors your family? Go. Your eyes were closed. So I feel like you have had a lot of wisdom gathered in the amount of time.
I mean, I'll tell you, I already have an answer. I'm just trying to figure out how to really convey it. So if you're not your scenario is that basically all day, like I'm doing a Christmas portion at one family, then we're going to the next family doing another Christmas portion.
Yeah, and especially like even blended families, right?
Yeah, and then at some point, I mean, I don't know blended family, but at some point you're coming home. So you're basically trying to do 3 different Christmases, possibly, right? If you do your own thing.
3+.
Yeah. And then it's just too much for that couple. For the couple or for anybody, right? So like if you're single, I think suck it up and just go. Well, you wouldn't have in-laws if you're single.
Anyways, go ahead. Right. Keep going.
I think you just communicate to both like sides, right? That it's just a long day. I'm going to say what I'm going to say and then I'm going to clarify. It's just a long day and it's super stressful for us. And we would just rather have our own Christmas here in the house. You guys are welcome to come at any point.
Okay, so I'm going to go further into this.
All right. Okay.
Because let's say you're trying to protect like some sacred space for like you and your family. And
then I'll give it time.
Okay.
Like after noon, after 12 o'clock, you guys are more than welcome to come to the house. But the morning, we're just going to be here and we're not going anywhere. So like for us, if you guys can hear, Lisa has a robot vacuum cleaner that just goes all the time. I don't know if it ever stops. And then sometimes mid-go, it starts mopping. And so then I don't even know where I can step. It's super annoying. I hear it. It's bothering me right now. So anyway, you convey that like, we're going to stay here. We're going to do this. We did this, but we didn't have like in-laws and then my parents or your parents, we didn't have all that in one
one area.
Yeah. It would, like, for us to do that, it's literally like we are taking a vacation and we're going to another state to spend Christmas over there. Like, it's, you know, so.
But we do have a lot of extended family.
That's what I was just going to say. For us, we have a lot of extended family here, and they have, you know, Christmas Eve, let's do something. It's great. But we got to a point where we're like, Christmas Day is ours. This is basically what we said. We didn't say it like that to everyone. We just said Christmas Day is ours. We talked about it, and we were like, we're going to be in our pajamas until we decide we're not going to be. Like, there's not going to be a time, because there was, as the kids were growing up and we were here where we live now, there was times where it was like, hey guys, it's time to get dressed. Like, you know, we need to get dressed. We got to go here and all that. And you could see the kids and they're just like, really?
Oh man. Like
I don't want to get dressed. Like, I just got this thing, you know, whatever it is, right? I'm reading this book. I don't want to go anywhere. And so then it kind of hit us, you know, after probably a couple of years, where we were like, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You know? And so now people know, even our close friends know, that on Christmas Day, we're going to be here at the house. And we tell people, you guys are more than welcome to come by. Like, you know, and we enjoy it. Like, it's kind of fun now. Lisa makes amazing cinnamon rolls, cast iron cinnamon rolls, and she makes a bunch of them. And we just let people know, hey, you want a cinnamon roll? Come on by. And we have some really close friends. They're usually going to another, like, their grandkids thing. They stop by and they get a plate. They put a bunch of cinnamon rolls on it, talk to us for a minute, and then they go. And we're like, yeah, great. Like, there's no offense taken, nothing like that. I'm still in my pajamas. The kids are doing whatever they're doing, and we're just hanging out and drinking coffee and just enjoying family, right? Just like sitting in it, you know? And it's not that you don't love all the other things and all the other family and all the friends. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, this is what we do in this time. We like to keep this sacred. And we've told people that, like, hey, we're usually very busy. And that's why the whole Sabbath thing came up during our coffee. We're usually very busy. And so it's like, man, this day, you can wake up whenever you want to wake up. Like, we're all going to come downstairs, hang out, whatever gifts, you know, open up, we open, do all those things. But we're just together. And then at some point, you know what ends up happening? It's like, hey, you guys want to go do something? And then we might go do it. Or it's just all of a sudden it's evening. And we've just kind of been around the house, just hanging out with each other all day and not feeling the pull of having to go check boxes. Because I think that's what's important to think about all this is, when you're going out to do the things, which I think are great, there's nothing bad about doing these things. When you're going out to do all the things, has it become a thing where you just go check boxes?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what's happening.
That's where we're trying to say, like, you need to frame your holiday seasons kind of around that. Am I just checking a box? You know, it's like going to church. There's a lot of quote unquote Christians that go to church and they're just checking a box. Like, yeah, I go to church. Like, okay, great. But man, Monday through Saturday, it don't look like you go to church, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and so it's that whole thing. Like, are you just checking boxes? Then there's no relationship. You know, I was reading this book, and in the book it said, this one CEO for this major thing was like, I don't make meetings, I make relationships.
That's good.
I thought it was great. And I was like, wow, that's so true. You know, and his thought process was, I don't call a meeting. Like, when I meet with someone, I'm building a relationship with them, right? I want to know them.
And then somebody wants to come to that.
I'm interested in what they have to say. In that same chapter I was reading, it was saying that there's no ordinary people. And I thought that was so great, because it's like, there's not. Everyone has this story, this interest. And so I was really thinking about it. I'm like, man, we're talking about this. Like, are you going to a meeting or are you going to a relationship? You know, it's kind of along those lines where, yes, you are going to a relationship, but what I'm getting at is, are you just going to check this box? Like, hey, clock in, we're here, have some laughs, clock out, I'm headed out.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot. I think that probably for someone like me, predetermining some number one, like I said in the beginning, like assessing your calendar and having a discussion about what that looks like so that you guys can make some decisions up front and then have some phrases that will help you navigate some of that.
It's easier to make pre-decisions on scenarios or issues than when it happens.
Yes.
And so if you've already predetermined we are going to do that or we aren't going to do that. When I was talking about with your scenario earlier, the caveat I was going to give before I think you gave me some pushback was that that person, majority of the time, the person on the other end of whatever you're saying, whatever excuse you have is not good enough.
And that's 100% true.
It does not matter. I mean, it could like both my cars blew up in the driveway and I'm sick. Like, and
get over here.
Like, get over here then. You know, and I clearly being facetious, but just know that ahead of time. If you just, especially yeses are easy. That's not, we're not even talking about that. We're talking about when you're going to say no to something. Just be aware. You can say it in the nicest way possible. You can explain everything. Be very truthful. Very truthful. Like you can be truthful and kind, right? You don't have to be like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think even saying things like, hey, we're doing a new tradition this year.
Yeah. But it's just the understanding of whoever's on that receiving end.
Yeah.
Man, 99% of the time they are that reason, whatever that is, new tradition,
especially in extended family,
whatever it is, like that's not going to be good enough.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good point and one that you have to weigh out the scales, right? As far as what are you willing to sacrifice in order to live up to someone else's expectations of your time. And it's like that's some intense reflection that you have to think about.
Oh, this is a heavy subject.
Yeah. Because I mean, when we thought about when our kids were especially younger and us looking around going, man, this does not seem like a super enjoyable day for them. And of course we're trying to also make what matters matter, right? Like we are trying to remember like the reason we have this day is because of who we serve. Right. But yes, there's the excitement of presents and board games and books and, you know, they're wanting to enjoy that time. And we were like, man, we're not doing that. And there are years that I know I sacrificed something for our immediate family in order to not deal with other people's disappointments.
Yeah. I think that right there hits it. And it's so hard. Like I have a hard time with this because I don't want people to think I don't love them. Right. You know, because that's closely associated. Right. But yeah, I will go outside of my way to not be a disappointment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'll sacrifice whatever I have to sacrifice to do that. But then, and as I'm saying this, know this. You're still going to be a disappointment. Like you're still going to disappoint at some level. Yeah. Right. Like, and not.
Well, you go disappoint your kids. Or you know.
Absolutely. And I think that's where, like, I joke around about the maturity thing, but that's where it is. It's, you have to really, really reflect on why are you doing the things? Like, what are you doing? Because there's things we're going to go to that are quote unquote obligatory, but we love it. You know, so that's not, I'm saying it's not a bad thing to do those, but start looking at it. And if the first thing you think of when November rolls around is, oh my gosh, so many things I got to do. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to do them, you know, just whatever. If you do that deep sigh with that, man, you do need to do some deep reflection and just go, okay, let me look at this calendar. What can I really say no to? And what should I, be focused on? Like all those things, but also knowing whatever reasons you give, they're probably not going to be enough there'll be enough for you and your immediate family, but they won't be enough for whoever's hearing it. And then not letting disappointment, the potential of disappointing others, drive what you're doing these holiday seasons.
Yes, 100%. Because just thinking about it, this comes around once a year, right? And I just want to encourage someone to think about what it is that you felt last year and how I think over and over people are going like, well, next year is going to be different. Like next year we're going to slow down. Next year we're not going to blah, blah, blah. And then you just end up doing the same thing. And it's like, don't lose another year.
Yeah.
Just recognize that you're sacrificing something if you cave to the disappointment of others. And yes, you want to honor God. Yes, you want to honor your family. And it is I would encourage a lot of prayer about what that looks like. And have conversations with each other about what that looks like. So it's not like one spouse is going, well, man, I didn't realize going to my family's was like an obligation to you. And then the other spouse is going like, well, I thought you loved when blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, let this episode just be a challenge. The whole episode just be a challenge to you to just reflect on what's coming up with the next couple months and what do we really want to go to and what don't we want to go to? And
where's the sacred spaces we can make?
Absolutely.
Because I think, and even for us, I think this is something that we need to really sit down and do over this next month is to say, oh, okay, well, on this weekend, nothing.
Yeah, right? Well, that's what we're like. I have been challenged so in the past couple of months, I know it's God telling me because I don't, when you can kind of figure it out because you're like, why would I even think that? Right. There's been a couple of things that have popped up that I've shared with you. And I'm like, why would I want to do that? That's not me. But the Sabbath was one of them I brought up today. And I was like, man, I feel like this, good heaviness, right? If that makes sense, like this weight of like, Brad, you need a Sabbath.
Yeah.
You need
to carve out space for me.
And and so I need to figure out how that looks. And I know people that do it and I just need to figure out how it looks. And if it says to do it, Jesus talks about it, right? Jesus talks about fasting. And now science is like, hey, fasting's great for you. And it's like, well, yeah, look at this Bible that's been around forever. And it said to fast, And so it's just interesting because it's the same thing with a rest day, right? And then you have to frame out, what does that rest day look like? It doesn't mean being in my, I don't have one of these, but being in my lazy boy all day with my feet up.
Like you have a lazy boy.
That's what I just said. I don't have one of these. But
I'm just imagining.
Oh, very funny. That's so hilarious. Me with my feet up. So funny. So anyway, I don't have, but it's not just doing that and ignoring everything. So it's the same with this. You need to frame this and set up healthy boundaries and then having freedom in that. That's what we preach about boundaries all the time in marriage. Like you set up boundaries to protect what's sacred to you. And then there's this huge freedom within that, right? And it's just like Jesus has boundaries for us, right? God has set these boundaries for us. And when you are chasing after him and you're seeking him and putting him as a priority, there's so much freedom.
Absolutely. And that really brings a lot of peace when you can just rest in that. I have some questions I just want to be able to give for like a closing for people. For people to just like reflect on when they're thinking of this, right? Because I really think like our challenge this week is for you to take out your calendar and have a discussion with your spouse so that you are not letting everyone else dictate your time and schedule, but you're going in with an assessment of where you guys need space and where you guys are going to commit to. And that what you do commit to is going to be the things that protect what matters most to you. And that you will go in with a unified front instead of division, right? Because it's like, we have come together and this is the decisions we've made and this is what we're going to do. And that really enables you guys both to protect this season. Which, by the way, we're going to be going on break for till the new year, because we're also going to protect this time that we have with each other and with our family. Yeah. And so we will have our next episode in 2026, which is crazy to say. But here's some questions for you guys when you're, having this conversation with your spouse about, okay, what does this look like? We don't want a repeat of last year where everyone's stressed out. So what brings joy? Yeah. I think that's a really great one to think about. Like for each one of you, it's like, okay, well, during this time, like what really does bring me joy? And it's like, okay, we're going to, one night, we're going to all go see Christmas lights, right? Does that bring like peace and joy to you? Does it not? Is it tradition? Blah, blah, blah. What stresses us out? And just being real about that. What do we want our kids to remember? I think that's a great one, because you certainly don't want your kids to remember that every year was just chaos. No. What is God asking us to release this year? I think that is so powerful. And then the other part of it is to just give each other some permission to do some things too.
Yeah. And on top of all of it is having grace for when you go do things, because not everything you go do is going to be stress-free.
Oh, yeah.
We're not telling you guys to like isolate yourselves in this little bubble. We're just saying, like, are you at the end of your rope by the time January comes around? And
that financial rope too.
Everything. When you get to that level, it hurts everything.
Absolutely.
And so like, what do you want your kids to remember? What's God telling you to let go? What, just looking at all those things, all those questions is great. But I just want people to understand, like, this doesn't mean you're going to have no stress or no obligation. This isn't a stress-free thing or no obligations. This is just understanding that there are times where I can say no. And then I can try to do these things. Assess.
And then, so give each other permission to rest, give each other permission to say no, to try something new, and to break harmful family patterns. I think that all of those things are really important for you guys to recognize, like, hey, well, this is not working. Yeah. This is not working either in our immediate or extended families. And you can give each other permission to say, like, we're going to do something different this year. And that's okay. And to ultimately remember that, I know this is the stuff on all the like bumpers and stuff, but Jesus is the reason for this season. And to keep that in mind always above all of the commercialism that is everywhere this time of year. We are thankful for each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in, for your messages, for your love. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we will see you in 2026.